This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. As you just heard, Scott Barney took the team through the polling process and identified as we got down to the range coordinator that we are still red relative to that RF interference item, and so the team will be working to get that address and look at when we can proceed in the countdown. As a reminder, our launch window tonight extends to 8:27 p.m. Eastern Time.
The launch vehicle is ready to launch.
MD.
This is the mission director. You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count. All steps are complete prior to terminal count.
So the polling is complete and the launch team has just given the go for launch. The range RF emitter issue has been resolved and the countdown will resume in approximately 30 seconds. From T-minus 4 minutes until launch, you will be listening to launch conductor Scott Barney and his team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure.
Time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark. T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
3:55.
Ground powers enable.
The countdown clock has resumed and we are proceeding towards a 8:04 p.m. Eastern Time liftoff. Through the terminal count, you'll be hearing the team call out that Atlas LO2 topping has been secured, followed about a minute later by the call out for transferring the Atlas and Centaur stages from ground facility power to internal battery power. At T-minus 1 minute 55 seconds, the team will command the launch sequencer to start, followed shortly by securing the Centaur LH2 and LO2 topping activity. At T-minus 1 minute 40 seconds, the team will command the flight control system to launch enable and arm the flight termination system. In the final minute, the Atlas tanks will be verified at flight pressures, followed with verification of the Centaur tank pressures. The final status check of Atlas, Centaur, and MUOS 3 readiness is conducted at T-minus 25 seconds. Seconds before liftoff, the RD-180 engine will ignite and perform a health check, followed by the ignition of the 5 solid rocket boosters to lift the vehicle off the pad. After liftoff, you'll hear the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. T-minus 2 minutes, 12 seconds and counting. Once the rocket lifts off, it will only take about 36 seconds to reach Mach 1 or the speed of sound.
$159.
Vehicle internal.
Launch sequencer start.
150.
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
140.
FCS launch enable.
130.
FTS armed.
T-minus 1 minute, 26 seconds and counting. The launch vehicle, payload, ground systems, and eastern range are go for launch.
Orc is armed.
FCS count started.
115.
Produce ECS for launch.
Roger.
110.
Vent valves locked.
60 seconds.
T-minus 1 minute.
Rock. Report range status.
Range green.
$40.
Stable at step 3.
T-minus 30 seconds.
ECS reduced for launch.
Roger.
25.
Status check. Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go Muos.
20. 15.
T minus 10,
10,
9,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have RD-180 ignition, and we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the third Mobile User Objective System mission for the United States Navy. MUOS significantly enhances communications for U.S. forces on the move.
Booster has throttled back, or throttled back up. Engine response looks very good. SRB chamber pressures have plateaued.
You are hearing the voice of
Max
Marty
Q.
Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in for mission progress.
Altitude is 8.6 miles, downrange distance 5.6 miles, current velocity 2,195 miles per hour. Booster has throttled down as expected. Engine response looks good. Injector pressures, and pump speeds look good. Coming up on SRB burnout. And we have SRB burnout in progress. And booster has begun throttling back up to 100% until we hit the 2.5 G throttle segment. Engine response looks very good. Body rates continue to control down the middle. And we have jettisoned all 5 SRBs. Looks like a good separation. And we've completed the Q alpha limited steering. Current altitude is 40 miles, downrange distance 62.9 miles, current velocity 5,159 miles per hour. Range track shows the vehicle making good progress down the middle of the range. And the RCS pyro valve has been fired. We are now throttling to maintain 2.5 Gs. System's pressurizing to flight levels. Vehicle is now 25% of its liftoff mass. RD-180 continues to throttle to maintain a 2.5 G acceleration level. All systems look good. Coming up on payload for jettison in 15 seconds. And we have payload for jettison. Vehicle is now throttling back up till we hit our 4.6 G throttle segment. Currently accelerating at 4.6 Gs. Boost phase cool down is underway. Pogo pyro vent has been fired. Boost phase cooldown is complete. Coming up on BECO. And we have BECO. Engine shutdown looks good. We have retros and stage separation. Looks like a clean SIP. The LOX and fuel pre-start. The GN2 purge front of the RCS is underway. We have ignition and full thrust on the RL10. This is scheduled to be a 462-second burn. Centaur box tank pressures have been vented down as expected. Steering has been enabled. Vehicle response looks good.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 5 minutes, 15 seconds into tonight's mission. We've just heard Marty Malinowski report the successful execution of events comprising the early part of tonight's mission, and all systems continue to operate nominally. The mission is currently in the first of 3 Centaur engine burns. Our